Hey guys, happy Friday. Today is a good day. It's Good Friday. I'm excited to be here with, I believe, the talented Jordan Bolds. We're going to find out. Jordan Bolds, I love the topic. I love talking about talent. I certainly love the question you posed. How do you know if you have talent or not? Because I think I've spoken on the show before, but one of my favorite parts of American Idol is the audition time, when somebody who's been told their whole lives they have talent comes to the realization that you've been being lied to, I think. All right, so we are live. Let me share this show really fast to my page so that people can take a look on the TED Show page too. And we are good to go. All right, so welcome, my friend. We got introduced by Hap McMullen with Hapco Music Foundation. He's an amazing human being. And so now we want to know about you. Enough about me. Tell us about you, Jordan.
Well, I was born and raised in the Bay Area in Tampa, Florida. I actually currently attend the University of Central Florida. I understand that's where you graduated from as well.
Go Knights, you know it. Charge on.
Charge on, exactly. I mean, I've been playing the particular instrument that I've been playing. You'll see later in my presentation. I've been playing it ever since I was in fourth grade. I'm a freshman in CF. I'm 19 years old, and I've been.
What's your major?
That's 10 years right there, and a big part of my life. My brother actually. My major is mechanical engineering, and I'm planning on going into biomedical engineering with that discipline. But it's definitely a lot of math and a lot of science. But I really love math, and I love, so I look forward to sticking with it and all that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm watching you.
But with
your connection's a little low, so new mug, yes.
Oh, okay.
Mug. Your connection. So you're I just want you to know when you look back, and guys, I know you're going to comment. Just keep talking.
Okay.
You're good. You look good now, but I think we missed that part. Mechanical engineering. You're going to go into biomedical engineering.
Biomedical engineering.
Correct. And yet you are totally right-brained on the creative musical side.
Exactly. Exactly. It's gonna connect somewhere, and I'll see it eventually. But that's my academic side. When it comes to my musicality, I've performed multiple places. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mahaffey Theater in St. Petersburg.
Absolutely.
And there's also the Palladium Theater as well. I've been there. I've been able to perform at the Tampa Bay Black Heritage Festival a couple of times as well. It's just really been a big part of my life, and I really have a lot of aspirations with music in my future as well.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do with music?
I honestly, I want to perform professionally. I want to be able to, put out music nationally, and I want to be able to travel the world and somehow have mechanical engineering.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an interesting balance. I'm surprised. I have to tell you, most people who come on talk about how they are, especially if you're have a music background, how they are either studied to be music education or music is their major. So you are at about the most complete opposite end of the spectrum that you can be. But I have a feeling that you're going to be able to do both. What does biomedical engineering do, just so I know?
Oh, yeah, good question. You'll ask me that question. So biomedical engineering is very broad. You can do anything from designing tools that surgeons use to such stuff as you can make any medical device that you see in the hospital. So anything that you walk into the hospital and you see that nurses use, that's a medical equipment or anything, that's most likely designed by a biomedical engineer. And one really large thing with biomedical engineers is prosthetics. And that's, you have artificial body parts, and it can be external or it can be internal. For instance, you can have an artificial heart. They're working on 3D printing hearts, 3D printing livers, internal organs. And that's a really big thing. Another thing I'm looking into with that is nanotechnology. It's very, very small technology. The smaller it is, the better and the more efficient it is. So it's really
where did you get the interest in that? Where did that come from? Do you have somebody in the family that's in that, or tell us where that came from?
Well, so my cousin who lives up in Georgia, he currently attends the University of Georgia. Go Bulldogs. Uh, he's actually in medical school. He's on his way to medical school. He graduates this year, and he'll be in medical school this following. Um, he was looking into biomedical engineering. However, he actually made the choice to go into anesthesiology. And so he left me interested, like, well, why didn't you choose biomedical engineering? So I looked into that a little bit more, and I was like, that is so cool. I always wanted to do something engineering related. However, I didn't want to do something usual. I'm always the guy to always go off to the side and do something that's very unpopular. And that happened to be biomedical engineering. And I always wanted to be in the medical field, but not really in the medical field, if you know what I mean.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right, so you go off the beaten path. I have a feeling, and remember, guys, I don't know what he's going to do musically for us, but I have a feeling that you're off the beaten path musically too.
You'll find out. You'll find out. I
Okay,
promise you'll find out.
so I want to dive into that. I want to get to know, because when you share with that, then I'm going to have a lot of questions. So why don't you tell us what musical talent you have?
Okay, so my musical talent is playing the saxophone. I play the alto saxophone.
Nice. One of my
Yeah.
favorite instruments to listen to.
Oh,
Very,
sure, same.
I love jazz. I know it's not all jazz, but it's still,
Oh,
that's what
all
I
good.
think of. So why that instrument? How did that come to be?
So I'm not entirely sure why I actually picked up the saxophone at first. I know what I can tell you is that in third grade, and this is the grade before I actually started playing the saxophone, but in third grade, you either have to pick, from the school I went to, you either had to pick drama or you had to pick band. And if you're in drama, you're doing this. But if you were in band, you had to play the recorder, and that was all you could play. Nothing else. You played the recorder. So the recorder is actually just happens to be very similar to the saxophone. So I played the recorder throughout all my third grade year. And then the very next year, I was like, okay, I kind of like the band. I'm going to go back in the band. Except for this time, you're actually playing a real instrument, not like a mini flute. So I either tried the alto sax, but before that, I tried the snare drum, and that didn't really resonate with me. So I picked up the saxophone, and like immediately I started playing. I was like, wait a second, I recognize this. So I stuck with it, and the rest is really history.
So the recorder, for those of you who don't know, that is the instrument that most parents want to really find a way to get rid of when your child all of a sudden picks up the recorder and plays it. It is this, I mean,
really
what a great stepping stone. But as a parent, I couldn't wait. I wanted them to do anything but get the recorder, because the recorder just went on and on and on. So good for you for picking something else up. But a lot of kids don't, like you got into band, but you took this further. You're in college now and you're still playing and you're still honing your craft. So kudos to you for that. So how did you get involved with HAPCO?
Thank you so much. HAPCO. So this is actually very crazy. One day, and before I even say that, I'll just say I do a lot of events that are outside of school. Like I'm a saxophonist, I'll tell you. I go around Florida, just to play. And one place that I happened to be at was somebody's birthday party. They're having a birthday party, and Mr. Joseph McMullen, his nephew, was there. And I was talking to his nephew, not knowing who he was or who he was connected to. And he told me, he's like, my uncle would really like you. I'm going to get you connected with him. I was like, yeah, whatever. Okay, appreciate that. And then I guess 2 or 3 weeks later, I get this text from this number, and I'm like, hey, who's this? And he said, this is Mr. Joseph McMullen. I'd like to get connected with you. I'm over HAPCO Music. And I was like, oh, so your nephew wasn't playing around. We're cool. Okay, awesome.
It was real.
Right, exactly. So he really was about his business. So ever since the birthday party, me and Mr. Joseph have been connected, and it's been very beneficial.
So before I get you to give us to play a little bit, I want to talk about the topic because, and as it gets darker in
Sure,
outside,
sure.
it gets darker in my room. So I want to talk about the topic. How do you know if you have talent? You obviously had a reason for making that the show title.
Exactly. So first, that makes me want to ask a question first. Uh, can you give me your definition of talent? And I'll ask you one more question after that as well.
You want to ask me a
What would
question?
you say
All right,
talent is?
this is new.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, talent to me, if we're talking, like I like to sing. So, I think talent has a lot to do with whether you have pitch, your pitch is correct. I feel like people have talent in different ways. So, I could be a talented performer, but not a great singer. I could be a talented uh, writer, but maybe not a best-selling writer. I could have talents, but there are levels of talent, I guess. Now, the people
Definitely
I
get that.
mentioned before on American Idol, I would say there are some people on there that have tenacity, which I guess could be a talent, but they don't have any musical ability. So I would
Mm,
say there's levels of talent.
really nice. Okay, so and then my next question is just two examples of someone who has talent. Just two examples in the real world, and then I'll get back on with that.
I mean, I believe Whitney Houston, she always comes to mind. I mean, that was a God
Mm,
given talent gift. That's real talent, raw talent. Um, Gifted. She didn't, I mean, I know she honed her craft as she went, but her voice was just insanely heavenly and amazing. So I would have to say
right.
her. Um, I think there's actors that have talent. I think Meryl Streep is a talented actress. She can really act, and you get lost in her performance. And I think that is an example of talent.
Nice. All right. I like both of those examples. I'd say something very similar. So I'll say most people, or if you at least you go on Google and you search what is talent, you'll find talent is a natural aptitude or a natural ability or a natural skill. However, here's the catch. A lot of people define talent and base talent off of the point that you've already arrived at. So in your examples, I asked you what are examples of talent. You used examples, and everybody would do this. So I do the same. You used examples of people that had already arrived a certain place in their development. However, I would like to open up your mind just a little bit more. Talent not only is the end result, but it is the beginning of a process that's gonna happen and bring you somewhere. In other words, talent, and this is how you recognize talent. Talent is your natural ability, meaning so it can be cognitive, it can be mental, and it can also be physical. For example, someone who LeBron James. LeBron James was talented before he even played basketball.
Right.
How was he talented? He was talented because he already had his natural ability. He didn't develop his natural ability. See, a lot of people base talent off of the development, but it's what you started with. Talent is it can if you can call talent your starting point. Does that make any sense? It's really interesting.
I like that concept. I usually refer to what you're talking about as their gift because I think we all have gifts, and so I think that LeBron James has had a gift early on, and just used it.
Right.
Whitney Houston too. I mean, she had a gift as a
Mm-hmm.
child as a singer. Performers do that, but we also have like I like the intangible part. I think people have a gift at networking. People have a gift at teaching.
Mm-hmm.
People have a talent or gift if it's interchangeable at a lot of different things. So I think we think musically and artistically, but it can be a gift or a talent pretty much at anything.
Right. Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to get at. You can observe talent before it's developed based on how does somebody think or what is this person's physical features,
Right.
what is their potential basically.
I get
So
to watch that a
that's
lot here on the show because a lot of people are
mhm,
coming out talking about their stories and they're on the cusp or they're learning something new. And so it's very cool to watch people on the cusp of that, taking that gift and really, or that talent, and utilizing it and developing it. But you're right, it starts out, there's a starting point for it too. And we each hone our talents a little bit differently.
Exactly.
People practice, you know, you practice, you would need to practice to be able to master playing a saxophone. It's the same thing when you're a workout person. You've got to work that muscle in order for that muscle to grow. So I agree with you. Talent has a lot of different meanings.
Very true. Yeah, very, very broad word for sure.
Very broad word. All right, you can't keep me in suspense any longer.
All good. All right.
We want to hear. I'm always, anybody who comes on Musically and doesn't sing for. I had a bagpipe gentleman on earlier, and I was so sad that I did not ask him to bring bagpipes because I wanted to hear those. So I'm very happy that you're going to play for us.
For sure. All right. So before I play, I'll ask you: are you familiar with the artist Bruno Mars? I'm on a TED Talk right now. My bad. My brother's in. This is my brother who plays drums. This is Mr. Ted.
Hey, what's up, man?
He said, "Hey,
we're talent. Hey, buddy, how you doing?"
How you doing? All right, but yeah. So are you familiar with the artist Bruno Mars?
Absolutely.
All right. So should recognize this song then. All right.
Right.
All right. All right.
I love music.
10 seconds. All right. This is my saxophone right here.
Beautiful.
Really nice. Thank you very much.
Go Knights shirt on.
Oh, right. Exactly. Go Knights. All right. So here we go. Tripping on Finesse by Bruno
That
Mars.
was awesome. I wish I would have
Thank you
thought
so
earlier to
much.
put you on full screen. That
No,
was
all good.
amazing. That was
Thank
really
you.
amazing.
Appreciate that. Thank
You
you.
know,
Really
all that does
appreciate
is
that.
bring a smile to my face, and that's for me what music is about. Even though
Right.
we can sometimes get moved to tears, I love
Right.
that kind of. I love a saxophone because it just something happy and upbeat, and you got to smile when you hear it. Very. Now there's
Definitely. Definitely.
talent. There's talent, my friend. There's talent.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
so
you.
cool. So how can people reach out to you if they want to maybe use your services?
Oh, for
Um,
sure. You can get a hold of my phone number. Most people actually contact me through Facebook. So if you, I'm actually gonna try and get myself tagged on the post as well. But my Facebook is Jordan Bold, and if you look at my profile pic, it should also be the same as the profile pic on Mr. Ted's page as well. But you can do that, and then my Instagram is Prince_Bolds. Bolds is BOLDS. And those are really my main ways of being contacted.
I
So
love it.
thank you.
I can't wait for this all to be over and people can come see you perform.
Same. I
Yeah, I
cannot
bet.
wait. It's been a struggle, but it's I'm definitely pulling through.
You're a joy,
So
man. Thank you so much for being on the show. That was
thank you.
awesome. Jordan
Thank you
Bolds.
very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hat McMullen, for the introduction. We have a lot of talented human beings out there, and you're definitely one of them. So thank you so
Thank you
much
very
for being on
much.
the show. All right. Reach out to
No
him. When it's
problem.
all over,
No problem.
let's get him involved. I want to hear more of that saxophone for sure.
For sure, for sure. All right then.
All right. Have a great day, Jordan. Thank you so much.
You too, Mr. Ted.